All right, we're live. Welcome to this first edition of the Huddle here on Primetime Sports Media. As we're 36 days away from the beginning of a football season. So, week one, we have some good matchups and some matchups kicking off the season as well. We start off in the Big Northern as well with two teams that are trying to fight for both a rebuilding team and first up, Rock Falls and Dixon. The Dukes and the Rockets kick off with a huge bang for week one and week two. So first off, week one, Dixon kicks off with Stillman Valley, and Rock Falls will kick off with Byron week one, and also with Stillman Valley in week two. So the Rockets kick off with two of the top teams that are mostly one of the top ones in the Big Northern. Stillman Valley and Byron are no other for success. The Tigers and Cardinals have both won state titles. Stillman Valley, I think, won some in 1999, I think 2009, and also went to the state championships in 2011. Stillman last year won the conference last season. They went 9-0 as well. They made it to the playoffs last season in Class 3A and lost to IC Catholic in the quarterfinals or in the second round. And also, Byron last year made another semifinal appearance last year in Class 3A, and they also fell to IC Catholic, the same team that knocked out Stillman Valley. The Tigers are trying to continue the trend of still have that success. Even the year before, won a state title for the first time since 1999. Byron also kicks off with Rock Falls, and then week two they go up to Rockford Lutheran, week three with Rockford Christian, week four with North Boone, and week five and week six will probably be the game of the week, as well as they'll play, with Kingston, and week nine will be the game of the week up there near the Rockford region, as they'll play arch rival Stillman Valley to end off the season. Well, we do not cover. So first off, let's go back to Dixon. So first off, Dixon last season came off another playoff success. They lost to Rochelle in the first round of Rochelle in an overtime matchup, because them two, Dixon and Rochelle, was reuniting a rivalry that was. These two were once in the same conference as well. But last season, Rochelle made it in Class 4A to the second round before losing to Weed and St. Francis as well. We're going to see a lot out of the Big Northern this season as well, because I think right now we're going to see, for once, who's going to win this year. We'll see between Byron and Stillman Valley as well. So now we move on to another conference. That is the Western Big Six. So the Western Big Six this season is interesting now. They have 7 teams in the Western Big Six, and some of the games will be played with the Free Rivers Athletic Conference. Will be crossover conference games between them that we're going to see this season. In week 5, we're going to see Princeton play Sterling. And then in week 4, we have Rock Island and Sterling Newman. Right now, last season, we talked about the Comets as well. The Comets last season barely made the playoffs, and they lost the first round to Rock Ridge. They kick off the season at Rock Ridge. Also take on the Rockets week 1, and then week 2, their home opener will be with the Sherrard Tigers up in Sherrard, and then week 3, another huge matchup where they'll play the Princeton Tigers, because Princeton's another team, and in the Free Rivers had success. Even the last 2 seasons gone to the quarterfinals. This season, last season, went to the quarterfinals, and the season before that, and they also fell to IC Catholic out of Elmhurst as well. So we'll probably see a lot of football action, because the Western Big Six is because we might see a lot out of the Western Big Six conference with teams like Geneseo. I want to see this season. Moline, Rock Island, and then you're going to have teams like UT, Galesburg, and Sterling for one. We'll see who wins it this year, because I think the favorites are Moline to win it for the third straight year as well. But I think Sterling can have a chance. I think Week 9, might be the game of the week, and for the conference title between Sterling and Moline. So we'll see what happens during the regular season. Sterling kicks off with Metamora Week 1, and I think Moline kicks off with because both teams will kick off with non-conference matchups this season. That we're hoping to see who's going to win this season. So according, I think Moline kicks off with who do they kick off with? Wait for it. Moline. So Rock Island, the Western Big Six, Week 1 with the non-conference matchups. So Rocky and Rock Island will kick off with Manuka, Comer. I don't know where that's at in Illinois. I think they'll play Geneseo. So that's who Geneseo plays first off. And Dalton Lap and then Galesburg kicks off with Dunlap for the Western Big Six. Sterling goes down to Metamora, and then Metamora is another team that a lot of you have followed Illinois high school sports, because if you haven't watched Ethan Kaiser out of Metamora for basketball, because they were becoming interesting the last 2 seasons with Ethan Kaiser, because a lot of people have known Metamora as a football school, and they were like one of the powerhouses in the state of Illinois down there in Metamora. So Stone kicks off with Metamora Week 1, and then Moline kicks off with Glenbard North. We'll go up to Glenbard North to play them. And then Week 2, we'll see Sterling again. Week 2 at their home opener. Sterling's opener is Week 2, and they'll play Wheaton St. Francis, another powerhouse in Class 4A that I've heard of. And then Moline kicks off with Bennett Academy as well. We'll see out of those conferences, as well as we keep updates from both the Western Big Six. So moving on to the Three Rivers Athletic Conference. So Princeton, one of the interesting teams in the Rock Division this season. I think Newman's another one I want to see this season, see if they can make the playoffs. Because in the Sauk Valley area, it's been a long time since we've seen Newman in the playoffs. Missed the playoffs, actually. So, from my point right now, is Week 2. We'll see some good, interesting matchups for Week 2. We got Ben Academy, Moline, another one on the Western Big Six. We got another good one is Dixon and Oregon. Haven't heard anything about that. And then we have more Mercer County taking on St. Bede. I think it's the first